I'm Anne.
And I'm Emily.
And we're Discover Teas. So when talking to someone about how to brew loose leaf, temperature is one of the key factors in making a cup that's full of rich flavor rather than one that's thin, flat, and bitter. That's because higher water temperature leads to greater tannin extraction, which is why with most teas, we actually don't recommend using boiling water.
That's one of the reasons why our labels include our recommended steeping temperatures, as well as the amount of leaves and steeping times, whenever you buy tea from us at discoverteas.com.
So, how do I make sure my tea turns out the right temp?
Well, obviously, if you have a fancy tea brewing rig that has buttons to push for different kinds of tea, that's helpful if the temperatures they have listed for the tea match with the tea you're drinking.
Or if you have a thermometer, that works great too.
But what if I don't have anything like that at home?
You don't have to run out and go and buy a fancy gadget just to make yourself a good cup of tea. In this Friday FAQ, we're going to show you how to brew tea to the right temperature without a thermometer.
Step 1. Bring your water to a boil. Wait, what?
While you don't necessarily want to use boiling hot water to steep your tea, and even water that's been boiled and then cooled can taste a little flat, if you're not used to watching water temperature, this is actually usually a good place to start.
Step 2. Once the water is boiling, turn off the heat, take the pot or kettle off the stove, and open the lid to let the water cool.
We recommend letting the water cool for about 1 to 2 minutes if you're making a black tea, and at least 3 minutes when making a green or white tea, possibly all the way up to 5, depending on how much your vessel retains heat.
Once that time is up, go ahead and start steeping your tea. It's that easy.
Once you've gotten used to this method a little, you can start developing an eye or an ear for when the water is at the right temperature.
So you don't have to wait for the water to boil first. When the water starts developing little fish eye bubbles on the bottom of the pot, that's generally going to be at about 175 degrees Fahrenheit, perfect for green and white teas.
Once those little bubbles start breaking loose and coming to the surface, that's going to be around 195 degrees Fahrenheit, our recommended minimum temperature for a black tea.
Of course, if you're drinking an herbal tea, you can go ahead and bring the water all the way to boiling, since those leaves won't have any tannins to release into the water.
Of course, if you start having really big bubbles come up, that's going to be a little bit too hot for a black tea, so you want to take it off and let it cool down from there, even if it's not actually at boiling at that point.
So that's it. Hopefully this little tip will help you upgrade to a better cuppa. So until next time,
I'm Emily.
And I'm Anne.
And just remember,
Despite the mention of fish eyes, no fish were harmed in the making of this video.